I think he sidestepped right at the end of the video.
We just had a nice buck come through. We heard a deer or something moving.
It's right there!
This week on Big Boys TV, we're headed to Kansas, the land of the giants, to hunt with Travis Trophy Hunts. Travis is a good friend of ours that has actually taken over a few leases that we've hunted on in the past. From all the pictures he's been sending us from the trail cameras, we are super excited to start hunting. During our hunt, we will be staying in a beautiful log cabin that is located near the leases we will be hunting. We arrived later in the day and decided not to rush to the stands and take the risk of bumping deer. Instead, we settled in, shot our bows to make sure nothing got bumped and to boost our confidence for the morning hunt. Before walking into the stand, Travis showed me the buck I will be looking for, and he's a beauty.
It's our first morning here in Kansas, and we just got to shooting light, and we just had a buck chasing a doe through here. It looked like a nice buck. I just saw him for a second because they were running full speed out of here, but hopefully this morning it's really cold, so hopefully this morning is a good morning and the deer move in and we can start to see some bucks.
20 minutes went by and that buck showed back up with the doe that he had been chasing, and he was about to be right under me. my Kansas archery tag on the first morning of the hunt? Stay tuned to find out. It's our first morning in Kansas, and my first buck is coming in, and he's hot on a doe's trail. Let's see if he's worth shooting. Not big enough. He's like 135 probably. Ah, that's exciting. He's gonna come back. I really hope I just made the right decision, because if I don't see another buck like that again, that's not gonna be good. But that was really exciting. We just had a nice, probably 135 to 140 buck come in and chasing a doe. She peed right out in front of us, and he came right to it and stood 20 yards perfectly broadside, just a little bit quartering away, like the perfect shot. But it's our first day, and he's just not quite what I'm looking for. I've shot a lot of bucks in that caliber, and I'm really just looking for something bigger. But if that's anything like what this week is gonna be like, it's gonna be a good week. Another small buck came through, but the rest of the morning was pretty slow. We were hoping some activity would pick up in the evening hunt.
It's our first night here in Kansas. We're all set up. We got cattle in here, but fortunately, when we came in, we pushed them out of here. So these deer come right up through this valley right here. And there's all that you have here is open, range outside of these valleys. So this is basically their funnel for them to travel in. We saw a doe and a nubbin buck this morning, but the cattle kind of screwed us up because they wouldn't leave this valley right in front of us. They were curious what we were, and it's kind of spooked the deer off. So we're hoping now that we bump the deer out, or the cattle out of here, that the deer might be more comfortable to come through here tonight. See what happens. Jada's in a good spot. She saw a good Michigan shooter, but not good enough for Kansas, especially on the first day this morning. So just gotta hope and pray that things work out tonight. It's really cold and it's snowing. They should be on their feet tonight. Let's just hope we can get a big boy to come through and I can make the shot. See what happens.
My dad ran into another cow issue that night, and I had an issue of my own. Sorry, I can't. Can't really hear very well with my hood on.
How are your hands? That's your hand warmer.
I dropped 2 hand warmers, but this morning I dropped 1, so now there's 3 hand warmers on the ground. And I don't want to get down and get them, but I've got 1 left.
I'm not happy about it. It's not funny.
It's pretty good.
It's not funny. But I got these new fancy Walmart brand gloves. That, see how fancy that is? They're pretty high-tech, new design, Walmart brand gloves. So.
When we returned, we jumped to day 3, where things got a little interesting and something exciting showed up on the trail cameras.
It's our 4th night here in Kansas. We are in a spot called Kickapoo. This is actually a spot where we've hunted before in the past with a different outfitter, but this guy has the lease now. My dad is at a spot where there was a really, really nice buck this morning. That's been his spot, so I let him go back there. So I'm hoping that somebody will stick something tonight. We only have one more day after tonight, so we really need to make something happen.
I decided to do a little grunting to see if I could get any buck's attention, and it seemed to work. The buck makes a scrape and disappears to our left, but we could still hear him and we knew he was getting closer. He was a good-looking deer, and he seemed to have a limp, but I wasn't certain if he was a shooter. I needed him to get a little closer so I could get a better look, and he gave me just that. The buck comes right in, makes a scrape, and hangs out at 20 yards.
We just had a nice buck come through, probably close to 140s, and I passed him up for now. I just really want to shoot something bigger, but I'm worried that I may have made the wrong decision. Maybe if he comes back, but I just don't know. He's really nice. He's just missing the width. He's got length and decent mass. Biggest buck we've seen since we've been here. But I don't know.
Broken leg.
Yeah, and he does have a broken leg. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he'll come back and he'll look bigger the next time.
It was a tough decision, but in the end, I think I made the right call. We continued to sit, and nothing else came in other than a text, one that got my heart racing.
Quiet. We can still pull up.
I know. Oh my gosh. I just got the text.
Before the break, I had passed on the biggest buck I had seen all week. Shortly after, I received a text from my dad with very good news.
Quiet. We can still pull up.
I know. Oh my gosh.
It's our second to the last day, evening here, and we checked the cameras today, and there's a big 8-point coming into this spot. It was here this morning, of course. We're waiting for that wind to change. See, I can feel it right now. It's going where he's gonna come from. It's supposed to change out of the south, and we're waiting patiently for that to switch. If it doesn't, we might have to sneak out of here. We'll have to see what happens because we don't want to blow this. But everything that we have left now is southwest for the rest of the trip.
Shortly after they got in the stand, they had a group of does come through. Another deer got the doe's attention and was coming in. It was a buck, but it wasn't the buck my dad was looking for. My dad was starting to get discouraged, and then he heard something. He looked to his right, and coming right in was the big 8-point that he was after. So he got his bow ready and drew back.
How's that, baby? That's the buck we were after right there. And I think I just smoked him, don't you? I think he already went down. I think he's already down. Oh my gosh, he came in right behind us. We couldn't even move. Couldn't believe it. He's right there. I think he's done. There's a lot of blood on that.
That's long.
Yeah, so long, isn't it? I think he sidestepped right at the end of the video. If I had to guess, he's right there.
Could we track him there? Wait a minute. We should be good, I think.
I think so.
I think we're good.
I mean, I can't imagine that he could come. I think we just found the buck. Do you want this light on? They're trying to set me up like I was gonna find the buck, and then Jada's like, "It's right there! It's right there!" And so let's go look at it. Thanks. This here, folks, is the biggest buck I've ever shot with my bow by far. It is a Monster 8 with stickers on both G2s. It is an absolute stud. I'm here with Travis Crowley, and Travis and I were talking this morning what spot to sit at, and we couldn't decide whether we should come to this one or the other one. We went to the other one. My phone went off, and the trail camera pictures were coming in, and this guy was here with some smaller bucks, and I could just tell the way his demeanor was, and they would run off. And so I shared the picture with him, and he said, well, if that wind switches and things work out, we'll get back into this stand tonight. And we got in here, and 5 does came in, perfect direction. And I thought, well, that's good. Maybe he'll come in, you know, the wind, they were coming with the wind. And they got nervous, and then an 8-point came in, which you saw. And then this guy came in from behind us, and Riley said something to me. I don't know what it was, but I turned and looked behind me, and what he said was, he's coming in behind us.
and I looked, and he had no care in the world. Thank God, I just froze. He fortunately didn't come under our ladder. He made a quick right, and then I figured he'd come out and follow the does, the same path the does did, and he came right out. I grunted at him and made a perfect shot with my PSE. Just a great buck here in Kansas with Travis Crowley, and this is by far the biggest buck with my bow. Thanks a lot, and now we got the work to begin. Thanks,
Congratulations, that's awesome.
What an awesome buck. I was so happy for my dad. That's all the time we have for this week. Make sure and tune in next week and stay up to date with everything we do in the outdoors on social media and at bigboystv.com.
We're still whispering because that's what we do on the Whisper channel.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Where are we? That's
Stay
better.
tuned.